I think that one thing that's difficult for 3D movies to pull off is having a dark tone, especially visually, and pulling off the 3D with obviously the way it darkens in the theater. So what's some ways that you've been able to apply naturally a way that allows us to experience this in the best light possible? No pun intended, but...
That was good.
Yeah.
You know, when Ridley decided to direct the movie in 3D, and I think that he could probably much better answer that question than we can. But he understood that that was going to be one of the profound challenges of the movie. And I think one of the things that was really important to him was, in terms of the constructions of the sets, that the movie was shot on the Bond stages at Pinewood, and they're just these humongous, expansive sets. And so
everything is built.
Yeah, if you're building a ship, you just build a ship.
It was ridiculous, because I was working for like 3 weeks, and I was like, where's the green screen, man? He was like, I'm not doing green screen. And he was like, I'm not, what are you talking about? And I was like, this is like a sci-fi movie. Like, I know, I've never been on a sci-fi movie, but in my head I was like, oh, we're going to be in front of green screen for like, but like, Damon's not kidding, everything was built, and if it wasn't built, if you were looking out a window of a ship, and what you were looking at, he would have computerized and done these CGI imaging that kind of played the scene for you of what was happening outside. And so it just grounds everything so much for actors. It's all there, so it's all physically being lit.
And I've never been on the set of a movie that was actually shooting in 3D before, so anytime you walked into Video Village, there were essentially 5 massive HD screens. You walk in, you get a pair of glasses, and you can see the shot, and you suddenly understood that even on the production design level, the movie was designed by this guy, Arthur Max, who did Fight Club, a number of David Fincher's movies. Like, oh my God, they actually designed this movie for 3D. So that Ridley's a shot maker. He makes beautiful art. And so the idea of going in post and then suddenly putting things in there digitally is not going to happen in this movie. And therefore, I feel it answers, any movie that's going to be in 3D has to be able to answer the question that you just asked, which is, can you justify this being in 3D? Why should it be in 3D? I think the answer to that question for Prometheus is that it creates a very immersive environment. That the idea that you're in sometimes very confined spaces, sometimes incredibly wide open spaces, but the only way to really trick your brain into feeling you're in the movie, going through these experiences with these characters, is that the 3D helps bring you into that immersive environment. And just based on what I've seen so far, I think it's probably one of the most visionary and visual directors in the world has finally used this medium. I think it's going to be pretty special.